Okay? Read all 8 or 9. I got an 8-plex. Did I bring it? No. I love reading that. One is an old hippie, I think, just reading him. He sounds like an old hippie, but sometimes he's really right on in what he's trying to say. Sometimes he's way outside, so you got to watch out too. Okay, V is for versions, D is for dictionary aids, just plain another source of dictionaries. Okay, let's, Ezekiel 37. Now, as a Mormon, this was my favorite area. My book would flop open to it very quickly. I love this area. There's 2 parts of it that are really good. One's talking about the church itself dying and having to be resurrected, and the other part is about the coming forth of the Book of Mormon. The first part, Ezekiel 37, says, again he said unto me, prophesy unto these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. And thus saith the Lord God to me, behold, I will cease to breathe to enter into you, and ye shall live. I will cause to breathe and enter to you, and ye shall live. Down in 37:9, he says, O breathe upon the slain, that they live. Again, this is sort of vague, but a lot of our scriptures are sort of vague. If you look at the average Jewish person, he had no clue that Jesus was around, okay? Only 1/3 of the Jews finally recognized that Jesus was Jesus. The other 2/3, they just didn't get it, okay? It's because some things are vague. This is a little vague, but it's talking about a resurrection of dry bones. It's kind of a resurrection of people, and what we feel is the church. What I was taught was the church. Let's raise it up a little bit more. Or next one, excuse me. The next part, Ezekiel 37, talks about sticks. Now, sticks, look it up in Strong's, is etz, which is boards and planks and stuff like that. It never says scrolls. That was one of the first big studies I did with the Strong's Concordance. But we do see scrolls on sticks, and we can sort of take it that way. If we take it that way, it says, "O son of man, these bones." Okay, we're still on bones. Go to the next one. Yep. Okay. He says, and the word of the Lord came again, saying to me, same Ezekiel 37, now 15, 16. Take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah. Now, Judah, we as a Mormon believe that is the Bible, because it comes from the Jewish nation. And the children of Israel, another stick for Joseph. Now, this is the same Joseph that sailed across the ocean blue and landed on the American continent. And for the stick of Ephraim and all the house of Israel. And join them together in one stick, and they become one in thy hand. And when they say down in 18, show us what thou meanest by these. Go ahead and raise it up some more. A little more. Make them one stick, and they shall be one in thine hand. And the sticks shall be in thine hand before their eyes. Basically, my favorite verse as a Mormon too was to show that the Book of Mormon now become one book in the hands along with the Bible, and actually the Doctrine and Covenants for a great price. Okay, next. Okay, this is chart time, and I've got just enough time. Marshall never gives me time to rehearse this stuff, so I don't know if I really got time or not, but we're going to try. This book down here, I brought some of my libraries. Some of these I've had for years. I think I got this when I was about 19 or 20. It's called The Apostasy and Restoration Chart by Rulon Howells. And in it, the best part of it was this really cool chart. And I didn't bring any Scotch tape. Okay. Let's go with the first one right there. Just kind of hold it back there. This is an overview of kind of the history of the world, okay, and the churches in the world. And this one square statement from the Church of Christ says, the chart attempts to show 3 times in the recorded history that God the Father, with and through his Son Jesus Christ, communicated with the men as prophets and established a true church, okay? 3 times he tried that. In Palestine, the church was established by Christ. And it lasted about 3 centuries. Then what remained was absorbed by the Christian pagan state church administrated by the Roman emperors. Okay, we all know it kind of went south after that. In the Western Hemisphere, it actually only lasted about 2 centuries, and there was a great big war, and there was in the ancient habits of America, according to the Book of Mormon, and the church kind of died out then. Raise up a little more. After the lapse of several centuries, known as the Dark Ages, the American religious tolerance system was sufficient to allow the true Church of Jesus Christ to be reestablished again. This was a key point. It took a place where the church would be accepted. And that's where our pilgrims came forward for freedom of expression of their Christian religion. And God the Father and His Son, Jesus Christ, restored it to the church through a prophet, Joseph Smith, in 1830 in Palmyra, New York. This is a statement, again, made several times with the church, and that's where they stand. Okay, next group there. Let's see. Okay, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Peter, James, this is a little story on what happened. James and John came down and held the keys, again, the priesthood of the holy priesthood, the divine authority of Christ. John the Baptist also came and returned to the earth and ordained Joseph Smith and Oliver Cowdery with these keys of the holy priesthood. God commissioned them to reestablish the true church, and this happened between 1823 and 43 was the biggest establishment of the church. 1830 was actually when the church was legally established and when the Book of Mormon was published. 1833, they started writing down their Doctrine and Covenants, and by 1835, they had a pretty good list and had another book. The first book in 1833 that they wrote was the Book of Commandments, and it got destroyed by the bad guys, and they came out with the book of the Doctrine and Covenants, which was a little thicker, a few more revelations written down, supposedly given to Joseph Smith. It was established with apostles, prophets, patriarchs, 70s, elders, priests, and teachers. Hubcaps, tires, windshields, steering wheels, trunk lids, okay? Look just like the original church. Okay, next. Okay, that's just a reiteration, but what this is kind of an organization chart. Everybody who goes to Hanford has organization charts coming out their ears. But this shows you, you can kind of scroll that up, and just shows you the different offices that are in the church. And you can see the first presidency, there's 3 of those. There's a group of elders, then the council of the 70, then the presiding bishopric, and then it goes over the stake presidencies. And in this area, there's several stakes, and in the stake, there's several wards within that stake. So they're all kind of just wagon wheeled together. But they do have patriarchs, which are seers. They have high priests and 70s and elders, deacons, preachers, teachers. All these offices, again, are within the hierarchy of the church.